All right, Arkansas. Wow. Let's do this. 3, 2, 1. Yo. Arkansas with a really I'm gonna say it. They just beat a quality team, and they looked like they were having fun, and like that was a little bit too easy, especially there in the second half when Arkansas stretched that thing out to a pretty good lead. Stayed in double digits most of the second half. What a game by Menifield. Oh, where's the – you know what? We don't have – we gotta have something. We're going to give Menifield something here in just a minute. Or maybe Menifield. I mean, come on, let's be real. Yeah, we're going to go over some numbers and everything. We're going to look at this game, take a look. We're going to talk about it. We're gonna cover as much as we can here. Some really exciting bowl games happened today. Georgia and Florida State. Oof, exciting, right? More like complete shit show. All right, make sure, again, you guys like, share, subscribe. If you're new here, definitely make sure you hit the subscribe button. 40% of you are not subscribers that are watching this. So make sure you have a YouTube account and just come on over. Come support your boy. I'll bring the energy. That's what I do, baby. Today was kind of fantastic. I'm not gonna lie to you. I liked watching Florida State. What I could watch, I liked watching them get their asses whooped. But at the same time, you kind of felt bad for them a little bit. And then Arkansas does this against, again, who I thought was a very quality opponent. I think. Yeah, they're a team to keep an eye on moving forward, but they did not look the part tonight, and how much of that had to do with Menifield. Also, different, we saw some guys early in the first half we didn't expect to see on the floor. Harris, Pinion, and Graham were all three on the floor at the same time in the first half. How often has that happened? How often has that happened? That was me. I told you so. What did you – are you talking to me, Raphael? Are you talking to me? Cade Arbogast was on the floor. What was that? Especially in the final 30 seconds or whatever. I mean, typically, maybe they thought they wouldn't get a big lead in the second half and they wanted to play those guys. I don't know. I don't know what that was about, but that was kind of strange. I wonder if Muss is going to get asked about it by the media. Shout out to Patreon supporters. You guys, oh my gosh. Listen, we're almost there. We're almost to 100. And it would be amazing if we could get to 100. If we could get to 100 by before the end of the year, which is, kind of coming up on us, it would be pretty cool. It'd be neat. So there's Patreon if you guys want to join. 97 of you. 97 of you are Patreon supporters. Incredible. Shout out to you guys. Also, of course, the Odd Soul Craft Bar Pizzeria located on Emma Street in Springdale. If you're in town and you're watching this maybe later tonight or tomorrow, go swing by the Odd Soul. They got you. They've got you. Fantastic pies. Their pizzas are delicious. I've not had a pizza there yet that I don't like. IPAs, local IPAs on tap. Great environment, great staff. Shout out to the Odd Soul Craft Bar and Pizzeria. I'm part of that 60% tie. This is Kalen Hitchens. Got a guy that controls the point, makes all the difference. Sean, my friend, you are correct. It's nice to have someone like that on the floor, isn't it? Like, everything just kind of flows through him. And that, again, the assist, the lobs, it's fantastic. Cade came in with 1.6 in the first. Oh, okay. Well, Philip, thank you. The exact amount of time. We need to know that exact amount of time. Philip's got us covered. Thank you, Philip. Battle not jacking up any threes every 30 seconds. Let us get into rhythm. Well, he didn't play after when did he hit the bench? It seems like fairly early in the game. He went out, looked like he was hobbling around a little bit. And he was hobbling around, then he jacks up that three, to your point, which just was so unnecessary. And someone in Discord said they specified the injury, like maybe, I think it was Yudwa. Shout out to Yudwa. Good guy, comes through a lot, but he said, well, he was hurt on that 3. All more the reason to pass the ball, and he got hurt before the 3. Should have been a timeout there by the refs. I mean, he was hobbling out of bounds, and then he comes back in bounds, and clearly he had affected the game. I kind of thought refs would call a timeout there a little sooner, or maybe Arkansas. I don't know. Brazil's is back. Other than the technical for hanging on the rim, I get it. It was in junk time. I get it. You got a big lead. You're locked, right? You're gonna win the game. Who cares, Ty? But it's still a technical, and they managed. They got some points out of that. I don't like the silly technicals, and this team just seems. I loved what I saw tonight, but where's the? It's hard to me to fathom what is up with this team and their technicals. They've got 6 on the year or something, which isn't a shit ton, but it's enough. And it's like you almost expect a technical every game. Every game, it's like, well, I wonder who the tech's going to be on tonight. Probably Brazil. Maybe Graham. Graham gets a little mouthy. And listen, you guys know, I don't mind some shit talking. I love that part of the game. It shows me you're in the game, baby. You're feeling it. But some of these just goofy fouls and technicals by these guys, it just seems like, and it's crazy to think, especially when you see a guy like Musselman blow his top at a simple, just a silly pass that he doesn't like. Now, that lob up by L. Ellis was about the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I mean, what are you thinking, dude? Come on. That lob up at half court, that is – and you saw Musselman blow his top. So it's so hard for me to imagine that this team is so poorly disciplined. And they are. I think they are. I think the technicals and the fouls speak for themselves. Now, we know Arkansas is a pretty aggressive team, and they're going to get hit. I mean, that's what they do. They get to the free throw line, and they also foul. I mean, they're up there in the SEC in fouls committed per game. It's like, I want to say they're top 3 in the SEC. It's high. It's really high. Outside of Menifield, God, I can't wait. We're going to talk about Menifield. What a game, son! I told y'all he was trending towards 30 points. I told y'all on Discord, I said he's trending towards 30 points. Nothing. And then he goes and he does it. God, he looked good. Oh, my God. OMG for many. Ellis, WTF. Yeah, Ellis, I just wonder sometimes why he gets minutes. I know that Muss has said that the offense tends to kind of flow through him at times. Muss knows more than any of us combined, right? It's his team, longtime coach. He's coached all these different levels. I mean, I wish he could go into further detail, further explanation as to why the hell Ellis gets the minutes that he gets. I don't understand it. Hey, Ty, Woo Pig. What's up, Hoyt? How you doing, man? More minutes for Blocker, please. I agree. I love that dude's hustle. I love Blocker's game. And think about all the, they pointed it out on the broadcast. Think about all these third and fourth year players, these guys that transferred in, the seniors, and he's made his way onto the floor. That says a lot. Like 75%. What are you talking about, Craig? Got to be specific. I don't know what you're talking about. Again, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Please, 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 please. Copy and paste this link. Send it out to friends. Tell them, hey, okay, this guy, this fat dude on YouTube with the luscious brown locks is killing it for Razorback content. You need to go watch my guy. You need to go support him. You need to go sub. You ought to share the post, the live show. We have a poll up. It's about the playoff versus BCS era. Make sure you go take that, too. That's on the community page. $5 super chat from Fish. I appreciate you, Fish. Shout out to Raphael in the chat. Ty. Oh, did I miss it? He said a couple of weeks ago that Keyon was the massive. Wait. He said a couple of weeks ago that Keyon was the key. Okay, that looked weird on my screen. Okay, he was the key. Massive prediction on his part. To be fair, a lot of people were saying this, though. A lot of people, I mean, I'm getting that in Discord. I'm seeing it on Twitter. Like, oh, I told you guys. Everybody thought that, though. But, yeah, sure. Shout out to Rafael. You're not wrong. He's not wrong. Brazil could score or go to the line every time he touches the ball if he wanted to. Sometimes you see him just completely take over the moment. And his big play ability, I mean, it just lifts that team. It lifts Bud Walton, all the fans in the crowd. Like any time he makes a play like that around the rim, whether he's getting a follow up or whatever he does around the rim, especially when he dunks the ball and he plays aggressive like that, it's like he puts everybody on his back and he's like, see, this is what I can do. And he has those moments. Unfortunately, they've not had a true point guard help facilitate him. And this is what you get when you have someone like Menifield on the floor. I also saw Devo. I thought he played pretty well. I thought his not even just his threes. I think he made 2 for 2 in the first half of his first 2 threes. It really lifted Arkansas, but I thought he looked like a point guard a couple of times out there, and he's capable of doing that. He's capable of feeding the rock a little bit, moving the ball out in the perimeter, finding somebody. Sometimes it's not soon enough, and sometimes the guy he passes it to doesn't know what to do with the ball, and then they kick it back out. I saw that tonight. Already shared on X. I saw that, Philip. I appreciate you, brother. Keyon Menifield. I'm telling you, bro. Oh, my gosh. What are his plus? Now, I don't go into plus-minus stuff. I think some of those numbers, individual games, plus-minus is a little overblown. What did he get today? Let's take a look. Plus 17, but that wasn't the best. Devo, according to this. This is Arkansas Razorback, the stat broadcast. This is what the media uses. It's what Muss uses, too. It's what the athletic department uses when they hand Muss notes. This is what they're getting them from. Maybe it's the other way around. Maybe the site is getting it from the SID. Anyways, Devo had 21 in the plus-minus. Only 2 players at -2. Joseph Pinion -2, and no surprise here, Harris at -2. Harris didn't get hardly any minutes. Neither did Pin. Both those guys combined just 4 minutes. So it's kind of hard. Again, this is why I don't really take much into account in a single game. But it also kind of speaks to their year, right, when we're talking about Pinion and Harris. I just really impressed. Now, perimeter defense is still a problem. I think this is Arkansas's identity. I don't know that defensively, maybe they'll close the gap a little bit moving forward. Maybe they'll close the gap in the perimeter defense a little bit. Maybe we won't see teams make 9, 10 threes a game. They won't shoot 39, 40% on Arkansas on their own damn home floor. Maybe we'll see that come down by a couple shots, couple threes. But right now, I think that's who this team is. Silly fouls, silly technicals, atrocious perimeter play, very easy to dribble to the rim on this defense too. I don't know what that's all about. They're probably, and I would love to talk to Blake Lovell from SEC 14 about where would you just put Arkansas as just a complete defense? Like, where would you put them when you're talking about perimeter defense or the ability to dribble drive, the ability to just do whatever you want essentially on offense? Where is Arkansas at defensively? They'd have to be bottom 4. I mean, I realize they've had some moments in some games where, like, okay, their defense stepped up, played better. Yeah, they gave up some open looks, but overall held this opponent to this and that star player to that, whatever. We've seen them do that in years past. This year, though, it just seems like that's going to be this team's identity. Piss poor defense, piss poor perimeter play, too easy to drive on these guys, which is bizarre, especially when someone like Brazil's on the floor, or even Mitchell at times, and Graham especially. And then offensively, maybe now with Menifield stepping up and being the guy. By the way, Arkansas is undefeated when Menifield plays. He's only played, I think this is game 3, right? They're 3-0 with him on the floor. They're 3-0. They're unbeaten. Now, I realize they also haven't looked great, and yet he's still been like the shining star. He's had his moments. Tonight, he took the hell off. He went off. All right, let's go over these numbers here really fast. Arkansas, and again, Graham, who did have 14 points, 6 boards, okay, 2 steals. He had 3 blocks. He played really good, and yet sometimes his defense is so sus. His defense At times, he just looks lost directly under the rim. But then he has 3 blocks and just 1 turnover, no fouls. If that's right, if that's to be believed, that's a pretty solid night, all things considered. He goes 6 of 10 overall. I'm going to have to refresh this. Hang on. I don't know how. They're showing minus minutes. ESPN, it's just simpler to read. I wish the stat broadcast looked like this screen. The stat broadcast, it just gives you so much information, and the numbers aren't where you think they are. But here's how here's how UNCW looked first. Okay, they end up shooting 42% from the floor, 28 to 66. That's not bad. When you're on the road and you're shooting 42, 43%, that's not half bad. 3-point, they shoot almost 36%. 10 of 28. That's so bad. That's so bad. Now, they are a team. They're a high productive team. We talked about it on Friday's show. And by the way, thank you for those of you who watched that and liked it and shared it. I appreciate that. I told you guys, their ability to set up their shots, their ball movement out in the perimeter is fantastic. It showed up tonight. It's not shocking that Arkansas gave up 10 threes, but for these guys to shoot almost 36%, they managed to hang 90 on you. I mean, one way or another, the way this game flowed, again, when you have a team scoring into the hundreds, it's not shocking that the opponent's going to score high into the 80s and into the 90s. But they did it by the thing that they do well, and Arkansas, again, just had they couldn't stop it. I don't know how many of their looks were wide open outside. It felt like I bet every one of their threes were either uncontested or slightly contested, like someone just managed to get back just on time. I didn't like the play, again, out in the perimeter defensively by Arkansas. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves, but the game spoke volumes. I don't know, guys. Like, this is the thing that just holds me back in saying that Arkansas could be an elite team. Like, this is the thing, that and the silly fouls and the technicals, which those are coachable, right? The fouling's going to happen because that's just a must-coach team. That's kind of that's who they are. They're always a team that's going to get a high-volume amount of fouls called on them. But it's the silly technicals and sometimes just somewhat undisciplined basketball. But they hustle and they play hard. Again, I think that's part of their identity, right? But the 10 threes, almost 36%, that's just not good. A team like that should not come into your arena and do that, yet that's the expectation, right? They get a lot of points from their bench in this one. 38, like almost 40, a lot. 40-plus points from their bench is about their season average. White for them was incredible. Trezarian White, that's got to be someone that's on Muss's short list. I mean, you talk about a forward that you might want to pluck from a mid-major, right there's your guy. This dude was insane. 28 points, just 2 turnovers, 3 fouls, 2 assists, 5 boards, 3 offensive boards by himself. This dude kept them in the game. I mean, without him, and you could say the same thing about a certain Razorback who we're about to talk about. But White's game was unbelievable. So was Phillips. Now, Phillips did it. He didn't have to go to the free throw line to get his 20-plus, right? I mean, he ends up going 9 of 13, 3 of 4 outside. He does go 4 or 5 at the line. White, however, goes 9 of 15 at the line. Too many fouls in this damn game. Just insane. 29 on them and 27 on Arkansas. But Arkansas, it's kind of par of the course, getting to the free throw line. White ends up going 9 of 20, 1 of 4 outside. We already talked about his numbers a little bit. But, yeah, a lot of production from their bench. 3 players for them in double digits. KJ Jenkins with 10 points. I told you guys this is someone else who can disrupt you a little bit. He had 5 boards, 2 assists, and a steal, just 1 turnover and 10 points. 28 points for White, 25 for Phillips. No one else really came close to double digits. But, yeah, just an incredible game by White. So, yeah, that's definitely got to be somebody that you're looking at poaching. If you want to talk about going and grabbing yourself a hell of a mid-major player, and he's got the size, he's got a big frame, moves well, or tall, slender frame, I should say. Arkansas goes 52% from the floor. 33 of 63, so many points in the paint where they belong. 7 of 20 outside, 7 threes. I feel like if Arkansas can make 7 threes a game, you don't have to shoot 50% to beat people. 76% at the free throw line, 33 of 43. That's so many shots. That is so many free throws. 33 of 43. Just 10 missed free throw shots out of 43 attempts. Graham, again, had an incredible game. He had 16 points, 6 boards, 3 offensive, 3 defensive, and he had 1 block. Okay. I think I said 3 earlier. ESPN had to refresh, or I had to refresh. Mitchell with 2 blocks, no points. Tremont Mark, 18 points. He, of course, fouled out. Devo, 3 of 5 outside, 14 points. Tremendous game by him. 6 assists for Devo. 6 assists. And I don't even think that's a season high for him, right? Didn't he have a game? Did he have a game earlier this year where he had like 7 or 8 assists? Very, very, very pleasant. Listen, they did something. I don't think they've done this all year, including the Purdue game. They went 2-1 on assist to turnover ratio. They had 16 assists to just 8 turnovers. Guys, that's a winning metric. Those are winning numbers. You know, the bench production, 23, 25, 27 points from the bench. Graham, again, had those 6 boards off the bench. You're going to love that. But it was Mr. Menifield who absolutely cooked these cats. Are you kidding me? 32 points, 5 assists, 3 boards, 1 offensive rebound, 2 defensive, just 3 turnovers. You're going to live with that. Oh, my God, give him. I'm going to wear the chain on his behalf. He is the MVP of this game, baby. 106-90. Arkansas really was just kind of playing around with these guys, and it was thanks to Mr. Menifield. Sir, I salute you. Incredible game. That's got to be one of the best games any Razorback has played against a quality opponent. UNC Wilmington, I believe they're going to go to the tournament. I think that's a tournament. It's a quality win, and these guys made it look easy. This wasn't a tale of 2 halves. This was a team that did – this is what we've been looking for against a high-quality opponent. Maybe not high quality, but a quality opponent. I mean, this is a team that went into Rupp. I know we've talked about it, but they went into Rupp, had as much as a 14-point lead on Kentucky. They came into Bud Walton, and they found out. Thanks to this guy, Mr. Menifield. Incredible game by him. If they even look 80% close to this good tonight, they're going to cook in the SEC. You got Auburn coming up next, baby. They're going to cook. If they could play like this. Now, this has been the issue. It's consistency. Doing this day in or game in, game out. You know, now you're about to get on that Tuesday/Wednesday, Saturday, kind of back and forth, right, up until March. Shit's about to get real. This is it. This is a good game. They're not a high net ranking team, but this is a good game for Arkansas. This is something, once again, man, you could build off of this. You could build, and I think that's what they've been doing going back to Lipscomb, even though they look like crap against Lipscomb. Didn't play very well in the first half against Abilene Christian. And then they play a complete game against UNC Wilmington, and it all flowed or mostly flowed through Menifield, baby. So, now, and also I want to say, I think Arkansas's size, their length really played a big advantage in this. I mean, clearly, you know, their athleticism. UNC Wilmington doesn't have the dudes that Arkansas has. In fact, I don't think really anybody has outside of North Carolina. You know, in terms of talent, athleticism, the length, the combination of it all, I don't know that very many opponents are going to have what Arkansas has when you factor in depth. Arkansas has it. UNC Wilmington was worn down. They had no answer for Menifield. They had no answer for Arkansas's perimeter shooting there for a little bit. Again, I mean, how often are we talking about Arkansas shooting 35% outside? Not very often. Yeah, just a fantastic game by Menifield and Devo. Again, you know, we didn't even talk. I mean, Brazil had 12 points, 8 boards. He had an assist. Arkansas ends up with 5 blocks. That's right at about their average, or it's close to it. I think they're getting about 5 to 6 blocks a game. But I'm loving the assist-to-turnover ratio. Bench production was there, and they did it without Battle. Now, to be fair, Battle was 0 for 5. It's not like Battle was a huge factor early on in this game, but they looked this level of good without arguably your best scorer. I mean, you guys tell me. You tell me. What is the ceiling for this team? I still think it's high. It's just been a factor of the chemistry and the flow and just having someone where you felt confident playing that point guard spot that helps that can distribute the ball as well as Menifield. Again, Menifield had 5 assists. Devo had 5 assists. Devo had 6 assists tonight. Just between those two guys alone, they had 11 assists. So that, it just racks up, right? And you've got a couple guys that are feeding the ball well on top of them scoring double digits. I mean, that's just incredible. That's incredible. Just fantastic. Scroll up here. They kept saying Phillips and White. I was so confused. It's a new season. Menifield is an impact player. And that's whether or not he's scoring like he did tonight. Yeah, he doesn't have to. I don't think he has to be. I mean, they're going to want him to be, I think, but he doesn't have to be a 20, 25-point guy a night. They have guys around him that can do that. You've got Mark. You've got Battle, assuming he's healthy. I think it looked like I don't know. I thought he just twisted his ankle, but I don't know. I mean, he didn't play another minute that I saw. But you have those guys. You have Brazil, who we know offensively can produce. Graham offensively can produce. They're going to do okay on the offensive end of rebounding, offensive boards. They're going to do okay. I don't know if they're going to be an elite rebounding squad. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. By the way, 5 players in double digits, only the second time this year that's happened. Another thing, too, UNCW in the first half, they were shooting 43% outside. 43%. They end up going down about 7% at 35%. So, again, they adjusted well for a little bit in the second half until they got hot again. Once they got hot outside, you're really concerned. I thought they were going to make about 12 or 13 threes, but 10's still a good number for them. Yeah, they're going to be a team to keep an eye on for sure. Brazil needs that dog. This is Steve Dobbins. There's a Tuss Talk with Ty member. Appreciate you, man. Yeah. Menifield plays taller than he is. This kid is special, Ty. I think we found our Lee Mayberry. Oh. Ty, great game, but I don't think Musk can sustain the way he's coaching for a full season. I feel like you've said this before, Charles. I feel like I'm reading a copy and paste from you. Jumping, throwing, hitting, and yelling at players. They will eventually turn on him. Charles, here's the thing. He's done that every year. I mean, and by the way, he's not the only coach. For whatever reason, we think that this is exclusive to Musselman. It's not. As long as he's not throwing chairs and physically hitting his players, which is why to me, say what you want about Bob Knight in terms of what he did at Indiana. I mean, anyone that puts their hands on a player is a piece of shit to me, and I think he's a piece of shit. As long as Muss isn't doing that, listen. He gets animated, okay, but that's nothing new. And I think sometimes it probably riles his guys up. You know, I mean, the way you saw how he responded with that L. Ellis half-court feed or alley-oop, whatever the hell he was trying to do. He blew up and immediately subbed him out. I mean, and you saw how they responded. And I think that was the right thing to do. Does he take it too far sometimes? Yeah. When he gets teed up and ejected, that's probably taking it too far. I agree. That's not exclusive to him, though. There are plenty of coaches who do that stuff. And listen, I agree. If it's getting you teed up, that's when I have an issue. When you're getting teed up, that's when I have an issue. I don't know that I like this idea of, well, they're doing it to get their players, amped up, right? They're doing it to get their players amped up. Well, it costs you points in a possession. That's not that. What is that really doing for you? Unless you're getting blown out. And even then, I'm not a big fan of it. That's when you kind of lose me on it. And again, I'll admit, he does take it too far sometimes. But I think that's just kind of who he is. You just kind of have to learn to accept it and just hope that he doesn't get a technical. I'm more concerned about the guys on the floor than I am Musselman. I say that. Would I be shocked if he gets thrown out of a game again this year? No, I wouldn't be shocked. Am I going to be shocked if he gets teed up against Auburn? No, I won't be shocked. In fact, I would almost just bet that he probably does. Again, Muss is responsible for 10 techs this year. Yeah, at least. Those cost games too. Those turn to 46-point swings. Yeah, again, Haas, like I said, if you're taking it to that degree, I don't agree with it within the moment. Sure. Does he go too far at times? Yeah. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. He's always been this way. I don't know what to tell you. I think Battle's pride was hurt more than his ankle. Oh, yeah, you're probably right about that, Raphael. Ty, I mentioned a couple of days ago I said bench Devo, but I think with Menifield play, Devo stepping up or not play. I liked them two on the floor at the same time. I really did. I thought it felt like it kind of reined Devo in a little bit, and I don't know. I kind of liked it a little bit. No knock on Muss, but I like Shaka Smart energy. Well, you got to watch that kind of talk in here. We're so used to emotionally. Exactly. I mean, I want a guy full of energy. I mean, I don't mind a guy. By the way, another man that, had a reputation for having quite the attitude and acting the way that he does on the sidelines. He went by the name Bobby Petrino. He managed to do some good. All I'm saying, sometimes there's something that comes with that. I mean, it just kind of is what it is. I don't know what to tell you. Like, again, could he rein it in a little bit? Sure, absolutely. I'm with you, but I kind of like the passion. Muss wears his emotions on his sleeves. BFD, yeah, I kind of agree. I mean, I don't know. Is he responsible? Does he have 10 techs this year? I mean, I knew it was a lot. Nolan Richardson acted the same way. Nolan got heated. He didn't quite jump up and down the way Muss does, but yeah. Can we have a standing ovation for the cutting and moving the ball? Just so much better. The flow of the game was better. It just, on the offensive end of the floor anyways, it just looks so much better. Menifield is the quickest player. Menifield, it's like when you're guarding him, you've got two options. You're either going to get probably cooked or you're going to hang with him and probably get called for a foul. Or he's just going to make a shot. I mean, he's just so fun to watch, man. This is what we saw on video. This is the stuff that I liked about this kid and what I thought he would bring to the game. Now, did I think he would have an impact like this? No. I did not think he would have as big of an impact. Again, Arkansas is 3-0 with this cat. Ty, what are the key factors heading into the Auburn game? Well, we'll talk about that, Raphael, when Arkansas, when is that? That's the 6th, right? What day does that fall on? That's Wednesday. So we'll probably do a breakdown that Wednesday. Hold up. That's not right. That's December. We need January. That's Saturday. So we'll break it down on Friday on the 5th. So we'll talk about that next Friday. We'll talk more about them. We've got more to talk about. Arkansas lost a key linebacker into the portal today. I'm still surprised by that. Jaheim Thomas in the portal. I am shocked by that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm shocked, but I'm a little part of me is not surprised, if that makes any sense. That sucks. That's a blow. I don't know how else to put it. That's a blow. Your leading tackler, 4 sacks on the year, 90 tackles. I think like 2 or 3 pass breakups on the year. Big part of that defense. I guess the claim is that he felt like he was misused. Listen, I don't know how you misuse your leading tackler off your defense. I don't know what to make of that. I don't know what I'm supposed to make of that. You misused. You were the leading tackler. You had 4 sacks on the season. I don't know. That was a bit of a surprise. It really was. I mean, I guess it's kind of 2 parts, right? Like it's a surprise, but when you consider you went 4-8, I guess it shouldn't surprise us. I don't know, man. It just has the appearance. Arkansas football has the appearance of the Titanic right now, and people are jumping off ship. I do like some of their what they've done there in the portal, but I don't know that you grabbed anyone that's of that quality of player. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. What are the chances Muss scheduled this game to tamper with Stanley Amude? I mean, Trezarian White. I said it earlier. If you're going to go grab somebody, if you're going to go poaching, there's your guy. That's who you poach. The football team just gets back to very negative emotions. I'm so sick of Pittman, says Fish. He left because he wants more money, most likely, says Steve-O. I don't know, man. I don't know what to make of that. It's a bummer. That's a bummer. That's a loss. It just kind of is what it is. That game was pitiful watching it. Addison, what are you talking about? Arkansas cooked. Are you talking about Arkansas? Arkansas cooked. Don't be jealous. Don't be jealous. They're finding it. We'll see if they can keep it. Once they have found it, we'll see if they can keep it. Let's see. Yeah, Menifield is why I'm wearing the chain. For anybody joining late, Menifield's special. I mean, he's giving off that I'm gonna make it work vibe. You know what I mean? And I love it. This team's hustle was great. By the way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They went 7. So they ended up playing 12. They went 12 deep today in their rotation. Arkansas played about as good as this is probably their best effort. And maybe even including the Purdue game. I mean, it's up there, right? This has got to be their top 2 performance of the year. I mean, just what a game. And again, you don't have to play to this level game in and game out to at least make the tournament. You just got to come close to this. Just fantastic basketball. It was great. Menifield reminds me of a little Courtney Fortson. I was thinking the same thing. Courtney Fortson, yeah. That's a name not heard in a while. I'd love to know what happened in that situation. Oh, yeah, talking about Jaheim Thomas. Don't know. Again, it's not surprising, and yet it is at the same time. Like I said, I don't know. I don't have a problem with the emotion, says John Hawes. I have the issue where you let it affect the game. You ask why don't we show discipline on the floor? Muss is why. Well, I don't know that I agree with that 100%. Like, I think sometimes Muss has always been that way, though, John. I've never seen a team as undisciplined as this team when it comes to fouls, when it comes to especially just playing defense, playing perimeter defense. I think there's something in the coaching of it, but I don't know it's because Muss is, acting the way that he is in front of his bench. I mean, maybe it affects his players. I don't know why it would, though. Why is it this year all of a sudden that's happening? I mean, again, this is nothing new. Getting in trouble with the officials, as energized as he is, that nothing has changed. I have never seen a team, in terms of him and the way he coaches and his antics, I've never seen it affect the guys on the floor. This is the least disciplined team, and sometimes it just comes down to the individual. I think it's as simple as that. It just comes down to the mentality of the individual. Either they respond to the coaching or they don't. Does the coach set an example? Sure, of course he does. But again, this is what he's known for. And he's not the only coach that does this. This is the least disciplined team I think he's ever had. And the fouls and the technicals speak for themselves. He's got a job to do. He's got to work the officials. He has a job to do, right? And the players on the floor have a job to do. And I don't know. SEC is 3-3 in bowl game. That's pitiful too. What is that? I mean, if you're putting stock in bowl games now to represent your conference, I don't know that you're paying attention to what's happening to postseason college football. Why are you putting stock in postseason in college in bowl games? With the opt-outs, the portal, I mean, Florida State had something like 15 scholarship players left for that game against Georgia. Now, do I think at full strength they would have beaten Georgia? No. No, I don't. Bowl games are pointless, says Steve-O. I mean, the practices matter, the extra practices, the game itself in terms of just getting reps against another opponent, that kind of matters. If you could keep that team you're playing with intact into the spring camp and fall camp, more reps, letting your backups get more opportunities. But, yeah, bowl games are becoming more and more pointless. I don't know why anyone puts stock in bowl games. Now, if you send 10 teams bowling and you go 0 for 10, okay, yeah, that maybe there's a problem. But I'm not complaining about being 500 right now in the bowl games. I'm just not. I don't know why anybody puts stock in bowl games anymore. I just don't. The opt-outs I think they're ruining postseason college football. They're ruining bowl games. And I think a lot of that has to do with the portal, the NIL, and I don't know why more players today opt out than they ever did during the BCS era. I don't know why. It is strange. More players today opt out than ever. Now, Stephen Hamner, QB Spotlight, will tell you, good, go get that bag. Don't risk getting hurt. Go get ready for the NFL if you're of that quality. I get that, but at the same time, when you look at the big picture of college football and the reason why it's a multi-billion-dollar business, it's because of the fans. When the fans stop caring about bowl season, it's going to have a large impact on the game of college football. All of a sudden, you're not getting as big of a payout in these bowl games. So I talking about the networks and the advertisers and whatnot, all this stuff matters. It may not impact them immediately, but over time, you're going to look 4 or 5 years down the road. But I think playoff expansion is going to help that. I do, and that's why I'm a big fan of it. So, we destroyed Penn State thanks to y'all. Let's see. Ty Menifield starting point guard clearly. Right, yeah. Team roles starting to define still sloppy defense. I agree, Stephen Brimley. Sir, it's good to see you, by the way. I agree. Defense is sloppy. I don't think – if you wanted to ask me how much of Muss's antics play into what's going on the floor, I'd say maybe 15%. I think the rest it comes down to the individual, comes down to the player. A lot of these guys are older players. Now Brazil, what is he a redshirt sophomore? Is he a third-year guy or is he a second year? But him doing what he does, he gets a technical all the time. Do you think him hanging on the rim, what did that have to do with Muss in the ear of the official? So I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying you're completely wrong about Muss and his energy and the things that he does. I'm not saying you're completely wrong. I just don't think that's the reason for the sloppiness on the floor. I'll say it again. How long has this guy been here? How long has he done this? And why is this perimeter defense so bad? Why is it so easy to dribble and drive on this team? That doesn't have any, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't have as much to do with some of you seem to think that Muss, as much as you think that Muss has on the game, in terms of his antics. I'm not buying that. I think it comes down to the individual. What's up, Bumbles? How you doing, man? We'll never sniff being competitive in the SEC under Pittman. The dude is so lost. Fish, then how do you explain 2021? You say never. What? What do you mean? He already has. I mean, I'm not saying I fully disagree with you. Okay, you know me, I'm not black and white, but I mean, he has been competitive at least once. You could argue maybe never again. That's a better argument. Second year, former Pac-12 Freshman of the Year, Menifield. Oh, well, I was talking about, did I say Menifield? I meant to say Brazil if I did. Yeah, Menifield's a sophomore. He's a true sophomore. He was a true freshman last year. He's fantastic. Made freshman all-conference, right? He was fantastic. Best news of the night. Looks like the Pistons will end their 28-game losing streak. It didn't happen against Boston, although it came damn close. I didn't get a chance to watch that game. Well, once he's now 4, I'll give you that. Oh, that's what I'm saying. You say never. I mean, he has. I know an SEC ref. He told me that Muss has a rap with officials, and he doesn't get some calls because of his antics. Brazil is a redshirt sophomore. Okay, he is a redshirt sophomore. That's right. Yeah, well, I know he set out last year, but I thought that was his sophomore year. If you play 10 games or less, you get a medical. Go Hogs, great win, great coaching, Muss. Yeah, I thought the job, again, we talk about the guys on the floor. I thought Muss's coaching was excellent tonight. The rotation, did you see that mass rotation in the first half? I'm surprised we haven't seen more of that, honestly. At one point, didn't they say he subbed in 10 guys? At one point, both teams combined. You don't see that very often. He's played 3 years. He's a redshirt sophomore. It's weird when dudes get injured. Yeah, right. Yeah, I just didn't know if he was a second or third year guy. I for some reason I always think he played as a true freshman and then yeah, so that makes sense, duh, because he was a freshman at Mizzou. He redshirted last year, so he's a redshirt sophomore, right? Got it. I got to get more sleep. You see Lord Ricky Council killing it in the G League. I did see that. Someone posted that in Discord. So he's killing it. He's killing it in the G League. That's good for him, man. Maybe he'll get called up. Only thing I don't like about Muss is that his teams never can shoot the 3 ball. Well, listen, there's plenty of teams every year who go on really nice runs in March who are not great at shooting. Like, those teams are not as common as some people think. Some people seem to think that Arkansas is like a rare program when it comes to not being able to shoot the 3. There's plenty of teams that go on these runs that are maybe average at best at shooting the 3, right? They're 33, 35% on the year, whatever. Whether they're low volume versus high volume of shots, I mean, that kind of differs. But if you're a high volume team and you're shooting like 35 or north of that percent, then yeah, that's a pretty good 3-point shooting team. There's a lot of those teams, though, that are similar to Arkansas in that they're just not great at shooting the 3 ball. Yeah, maybe this year, I mean, listen, it took them until January last year to figure out any kind of a perimeter threat, and it was Devo. I mean, if you guys remember, it was Devo knocking down the 3s, right? Getting about 3 a game or whatever it was. And then some other guys kind of trickled in there a little bit. But, yeah, I mean, that is a typical Muss coach team. Yeah, you would like to see them find the 3. You would like to see them find the ability to stretch the floor. Menifield tonight was excellent. Well, I should say excellent. I thought he took a couple of ill-advised shots, but mostly this dude was just fantastic. And he made some 3s. I mean, he shot, what did he end up? He ended up going 3 of 7. I thought he hit 4. Is ESPN being silly again? 3 of 7 is what ESPN says. 13 of 7 at the free throw line, by the way. Not only did he knock down 3s tonight, but he got to the line a lot. God, this dude, he could be the complete package. I mean, if you got a point guard who does the things that he can do and knock down the 3, oh my God. But that's not what he's known for. Klein said it on the broadcast. That's not really what Menifield is that's not his forte. It's not on his list of attributes, right? For you RPG gamer nerds out there, you D&D nerds. It's not on his attributes, right? Like the deep ball, stretching the floor. You have a point guard who can stretch the floor and get to the free throw line, drive the lane, insane finishes around the rim. I mean, all this stuff this dude does. Only thing I really haven't seen from him is maybe more of a mid-range game, or like the step back 13, 14-footers. Don't really see a lot of that. Maybe I missed a couple. I feel like I saw all the shots tonight. But even still, like that's not his game. Maybe he can, but it's just not something he does. It's kind of like a pitcher with some of these starting pitchers. They have they can do the off-speed pitch, right? They've got a couple of things in their arsenal, and then there's just point guards who maybe they're only really good at distributing the ball, and maybe they can drive and get some points. And then you got a guy like Menifield who appears like maybe he can stretch the floor, maybe he can draw fouls. He certainly looks like he has that ability to do that. He could finish at the rim. So again, if he has this in his arsenal, the ability to stretch the floor, knock down the three, and teams have to respect that, it's going to stretch your floor out a little bit. Maybe you'll see a little less zone, more man. We know that Arkansas has struggled quite a bit against the zone. So it just changes everything when you've got a point guard. And it's like we used to talk about with Vanover. I mean, imagine a 7-footer, a 5-piece, knocking down 2 or 3 threes a game. It changes the whole dynamics of what's happening on the floor. That's not something traditional. You don't see a true 5, a 6'10", 6'11", 7-footer knocking down 2 or 3 threes a game. Now for Connor, that just never really happened consistently. But on the other end, on the opposite end, on a perimeter player being able to do that, who happens to be your point guard, which it looks like Menifield is that's going to be his role moving forward. He's such a special player, and he can beat you off the dribble. You have to foul him. You're going to do it either on purpose or by accident. You're going to have on-body contact with him because it's the only way you're going to be able to contain him or slow him down in the middle of him picking up his dribble and trying to drive. Like, it's just something he does. He can slash. He can cut. He just does it all. This is what I was talking about when I was saying this guy brings something special to the floor. I've talked with Blake Lovell about it. Blake agreed. Now, Tremont Mark was my guy. Tremont Mark all offseason. I was like, this is going to be the guy. Tremont Mark's going to be special. And he did good tonight. 18 points isn't half bad. But Menifield is just did I expect him to do this? No. I would no. I did not see him as a guy getting 32 points with 5 assists and 4 boards. Not in love with the 3 turnovers, but as much as he has the ball in his hands, he's going to turn the ball over. And that's sometimes you just got to live with that. You would like your point guard to be under 2 turnovers, for sure under 3. Jimmy Witt had a pretty mid-range jumper. He did. You're right. He was mid-range Jimmy. Is that Jimmy mid-range? Sounds like what he should be doing. What you drinking tomorrow, Ty? I don't know. I've thought about doing a stream tomorrow night, like an all-night stream, but I don't know. Without there being an Arkansas event, I don't know that anybody – I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. Part of me, I've got Pepsi and I've got whiskey, so I'm probably going to be doing that. If you play in 10 games or I already read that. Yeah, I'm over that. Keyon definitely took some dumb shots, but a few of them were heat checks. Yeah, I mean, you're going to have that when you shoot the ball that much. You're going to have some poor shot selection. Connor was lights out from deep at ORU, and he's cooking at Mizzou. Couldn't do it here. I don't know. That guy. And I mean, how special is that to have someone like that who can knock down, who could stretch the floor knocking down the threes. A 7-foot-plus guy. Incredible. All right, that's going to do it. I appreciate you guys. By the way, shout out to Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company. They offer same-day services, quality parts, affordable outcomes. Give them a call today. Brian, I read your DM. I don't care. I'm sorry. I'll get back to you on that. But same-day services, quality parts, affordable outcomes. Better than best results. They do it all, man. Give them a call. 479. I did that again. 501-244-3667. Give them a call. You're probably going to miss out on the 10% off. They've got any garage door repair at 10% off, but I think that ends on Monday. So Monday might be your last shot. If you want to get in on it, you need to go do it. Get it taken care of, all right? Okay. Again, Patreon, go check it out. If you want to support a truly independent channel, small independent channel, I'm not a part of any big network. I'm not a part of 247. I don't work for Hogville anymore. I'm not a part of Rivals. I'm not a part of the Locked On Network. It's just me. If you want to help out a small channel, that's how you do it. That or spread the word. I got to start reaching out to some more sponsors. Going to have to start doing that next month. So, yay. All right. I'll see you guys probably on Monday. But make sure you hit the notification bell. That way you're alerted as soon as I go live. All right? Okay. Here comes the name scroll. Oh, by the way, I told you guys I got a surprise. I forgot. I already shared it across the socials. But for those of you who missed out on the socials, check this out. This is what I forgot to show you. That's my bad. If I can pick this damn thing up. Look at this. Autographed Oakland Raider Darren McFadden jersey. Yeah, see, some of you left and you missed out. That's why you don't leave early, baby. You stick around. Shout out to the MVP, who I'm wearing his chain on his behalf, Mr. Menifield, MVP of tonight's game, Arkansas, with a very good win. I'll see you guys later. If I don't see you tomorrow, I hope you have a happy and safe New Year's. I'm looking forward to 2024. I got a lot of people to thank for that, and I'm hoping to do it tomorrow. So, again, make sure you're subscribed and hit the notification bell. Here comes the name scroll. I'll see you guys later.